Alright, so we're back on Madame Noir's channel. If you're unfamiliar with the channel, it's basically, you know, it's called, they have a show called, a segment called Listen to Black Women Talk or something like that. And they're on the topic of pick me women, which basically is women who go too far. They'll describe it. Listen.
Pick me.
No, pick me.
Pick me. I'm the one. I make his plate.
I wash his clothes.
I roll over every time he taps me on my shoulder. You may have noticed a growing trend on social media, and we are talking about pick me culture. I'm Shamika Sanders, and these are my co hosts, Kiara Kelly and Africa Miranda. Pull up a chair because you are watching Listen to Black Women. The term pick me has been floating around social media for some time now, but it got a little exacerbated when Love and Hip Hop Miami star Amara La Negra posted a performative post on Instagram cleaning her man's bathroom. She was in like a Fashion Nova dress, and it sparked a whole bunch of backlash and a bunch of women talking about pick me culture. You may be backlash and a bunch of women when Love and Hip Hop Miami star Amara La Negra posted a performative post on Instagram cleaning her man's bathroom.
Why take this post seriously? Does it not look like she's doing this purposely for attention? Why take this post seriously? She obviously was trying to spark outrage, and look at the dress she's doing it in. It's you y'all falling for a pick me post. It's not even a serious post. I hate when people get so upset about a post that's not even serious, not even aimed towards them.
She was in like a Fashion Nova dress, and it sparked a whole bunch of backlash and a bunch of women talking about pick me culture. You may be asking yourself, what is pick me culture? Well, Sonia Eskridge wrote in an MadameNoir.com article, a pick me's motivation for shaming other women is men. Everything they do is centered around catching a man. All of which leads us to our question of the week. How do we stop perpetuating pick me culture? Ladies, I think it's really important.
Never, because if you're a straight woman, you're going to try to attract a straight male and vice versa. So everybody to a degree is saying, pick me. When you wear certain clothing, you're saying, pick me. When you try to even be the independent woman, you in a way saying pick me, you're saying, hey, I don't need you. So for all of those guys who don't need a woman to need them, pick me. You're just saying pick me to the degree in which you feel you need to get what you want. So everybody's in a way a pick me.
To differentiate between being a pick me and just naturally wanting to do things for your partner. Like if you want to naturally cook and clean because that's what you do, that's fine. The problem is when you get so concerned about what you're doing that you want to shame other women for it. Brandy Angler, who's a relationship psychologist, she told Time magazine that the worry that we aren't good enough and that someone else is better leads to a hypervigilance around other women in general, which social media tends to make worse. So on social media, you see women really touting their accomplishments, like I work a full-time job and I cooked and cleaned the entire house. That's how you keep a man. And that's the problem. Sis, if you want to do all that, all good. But you do not have to put down other women to validate how you want to perform in your relationship. You also see women justifying cheating, saying, if you keep it right, get it tight, that's going to keep your man. And in pop culture, we see pick me behavior all the time, and now we just have a name for it. We saw Remy Ma on State of the Culture. She was talking about it's okay to cheat as long as you're not married. And I'm just like, out of these old black hood narratives that we get into, that we have been just trained, it's been embedded in us. I think about Aisha Curry, who is like the quintessential wife to every guy out there. She posted on Twitter about how she just likes to dress more conservative. And Amara La Negra, starting that whole conversation around her cleaning her man's bathroom. Sis, if you want to clean your man's bathroom, do you, boo-boo? Don't.
Okay, so Aisha and Remy Ma, those two women are married. So how can they even be used remotely to describe pygmies? I didn't understand it when Aisha had the problem with women with the hoes winning hashtag, because she's married to a superstar who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars with children. How could she be used as an example of pick me? And Remy may not be as rich, but she still has a husband and children, and she's successful in what she does. How could this be used as a pick me? How you? They say pick me women are tearing other women down, but they're doing the same thing to women who aren't even pick me women who just so have a really what seems to be a really good situation.
Don't tell me about cleaning my man bathroom. That's not gonna get me a man.
Yeah, the performing has just gotten out of hand. Like some women have even taken it so far that they're buying their own engagement rings and buying gifts to show this like illusion and that their man is doing all these things, because again, pick me is about performance. It's about saying, hey, look at me. And I just feel like it's gone so far that women are expected to excel at work and then come home and I've got to clean your house because then that's a reflection of how good your woman is, and cook your food, have sex, raise these kids, be perfect. It's too much. Like, when do black women like get a break? Like,
Well, that kind of is y'all choice to go to work. I mean, you could, find a guy who has a job, who believes in supporting his woman, supporting his children, and then just focus on the, what we call the feminine aspect of the scenario. Y'all taking on the responsibility of being one of the providers is your choice. So you had a break before. You just took it upon yourself to take your man's job and then try to push your job on him. But the thing is, we don't want your job in the relationship. We look at that part of it as your job. Y'all can be offended all you want. That's how we see it. So if you want a break, then I say, how about you stop working and find a man who can support you and whatever children you may have. That would be a break.
girl, let yourself off the hook. Like, it's okay.
So let's take it to these social media streets and see what people are tweeting about. Deanna Cooley tweeted, "Don't see why girls let themselves go when you're in a relationship. Hashtag keep your man, sis." That is quintessential pick-me narrative.
Because that's
Yeah, I mean, God forbid you eat an extra M&M, okay?
Well, that tweet said nothing about that's all it takes. It spoke on that aspect of it, but it said she doesn't see why you let yourself go when in a relationship. And that's true for both parties, men and women. Why let yourself go to there is a adult weight that anybody can pick up. You're not a gym rat, granted. But to say that, oh, why do I have to keep myself in shape? Because people don't want to be married to blobs. People don't want to have to spend the rest of their life for blobs. So if you have a certain shape when y'all meet, it shouldn't sway so far to where it's just horrible.
And now you lose your whole relationship, and then he deserves to go do. What if he puts on weight?
Right.
All this onus on the woman.
Wait, so she's complaining about pick me, but isn't her hair a bit of a pick me thing? It clearly isn't hers. So who is she doing it for? Is it herself? Are we going to use that? Or is she waking up, going to buying bundles, going to the shop and saying, pick me? To me, it's a bit hypocritical because I seriously doubt you go through all that for yourself.
It's never about
It's always
the
on
man.
us. It's never on them.
There was also this social media.
It's never on us. Never on us. So dudes like Darren Jacksons aren't pick-me's. And there's a lot of them out there. Dudes that have to go, oh, women can do whatever they want. And, real men will just adjust. Those aren't pick-me. It's never on the guys.
Craze that happened, and it spawned this hashtag tweet like a pick me. So we actually have the pick me's, and then we have some people who were tweeting like pick me's. For Devin's sake tweeted, "All that education is making y'all self-sufficient. A real woman doesn't need to read anything but her man's nonverbal communication. Anticipate his needs and meet them before he asks. But y'all..."
Read this. This is just an overreach and oversimplified way, and it's a way just to. I hate when people do this. It's a way to dismiss a conversation. It's a way to not even go. Are women feminine? Are men? It's a way to avoid that conversation, because nobody's saying, "Oh, that education, you're wasting your time." When people say that education and that you having anything outside of your man is not useful and necessary. The thing is, that's not what men typically get with women for. They don't go, oh, she has a bachelor's. That's so feminine. That's not how men look at it.
Keep having opinions and all that education and stay single. Hashtag tweet like a pick me.
That is what so many people tweet. That's
the
all
first-
this, like, you see it all over social media. Like, oh, you have so much to say, all these black women,
Yeah.
and they're feminists. I love that the hashtag pick me is now a thing, because now we can see who you are.
And we have one more from Forever Quell. I allow my man to cheat anytime he wants because at the end of the day, he's my man. You can send a child to daycare, but at the end of the day, they still have to go home to their real parents.
Again, they're joking, but they wouldn't be able to make these jokes if people weren't actually tweeting things that were very close to it. People have taken this whole thing of like being your man's piece to the nth degree. Like being his piece means you don't have an opinion, you hold him down, and like I feel like it's like all of that mixed with like a dash of hotep.
Having an opinion and being submissive are two different. Not having an opinion and being submissive are two different things. You can be submissive and still have an opinion. But the thing is, if you're supporting a person who you feel is in the right and knows what they're doing, you don't have to overpower the opinion that they already have. There's a difference between that and just being a doormat.
Put it in like a nice little stew, and you have a good little pick-me situation.
Let's move on to the receipts. Kiara, what do the polls say?
As always, we polled our Madame Noir audience to find out what you all think about pick-me culture. We asked who's most at fault when a man cheats, with 99% of you luckily saying the man. Okay, because pick-me's will be out here being like, well, sis, he cheated because you weren't sucking him good enough, or he cheated because you put on some pounds. No. The person who is responsible for cheating, if a man is cheating on you, it's his fault. We also...
Well, if you ever ask a woman why women cheat, a lot of the times you'll hear them say, "Oh, because men don't show attention, men don't do this right." Man, I wish I had screenshotted. I seen that tweet about 3 days ago. And the thing is, there are things you as a person, man or woman, can do to push your partner away and push your partner away out of your life. Now, cheating is a wrong way to go about it, yeah. But there are things that you can do to prevent or even keep their eyes from going anywhere else.
asked, do hoes deserve to be wives? With 83% of saying yes, everybody deserves love.
Some of y'all lying. There would be no pick-me culture if 83% believed that.
And pick-me culture can go either way because you can have women who are more sexually expressive, shaming the women who might be a little more prudish and being like, well, if you were doing this and this in the bedroom, you would have kept your man.
Right.
Then on the other side, you have the women who may be a little more sexually conservative, shaming the women who are out there saying, well, if you weren't so out there, you probably...
So you have the complete opposites who could be the exact same thing. This is the exact example of women putting each other down no matter what, because y'all are in so much competition with each other that y'all will tear each other down. And there's evidence of this throughout history, present day, everywhere. It's not tearing women down isn't a pick-me culture thing. It's just what women tend to do.
probably would be married.
Yeah.
Either side, it does not matter.
Pick me lines. I'm a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheet.
Oh my gosh, I just realized that's a pick me line. Everybody used to say that.
How is that a pick-me line? That's a woman saying, I know how to behave in public and I still know how to have fun sex or whatever she's saying freaking the sheets means. How is that a pick-me line? It's a statement.
So much back in the day, we were sitting here happily being pick-me's.
Happily. Well, that's why I think pick-me's have, like, the pick-me culture has been here. Yeah. Now we just have a name for it. Because, I mean, I'm Southern, so, like, if there is anything as a Southern woman you've been raised to be, it's kind of pick-me. And that actually brings us to our next conversation segment. And there's a writer for the blog Black Women Cry, and she gives her personal views on this whole pick-me culture. And she basically says that pick-me's are women who are conditioned to internalize misogyny and changes their behavior to fit the narratives of a sexist society. What you've done is basically saying all this messaging that I've received my whole life, that women are less than and that we've got to dance to get a man, you're now saying, you know what, I'm going to own that, I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to down you, I'm going to down you, and I'm going to down any woman that doesn't fit into this like performative version of femininity, and it's so damaging.
These ideals were formulated so long ago. Gender roles have changed so much. Where, back in the day, it was the man did the physical.
How have they changed? They didn't change. Y'all just started working. That didn't change. That didn't change gender roles. Y'all just started working. If a dude decide he don't want to do what we would call man duties, like have a job, we say he's not a real man. So how did gender roles change? It's just y'all just got jobs. That's the only difference.
Labor, the woman stayed and tended to the house and the children, but women, we are working just as much as men these days. So these pick-me ideals, they just don't work anymore.
And there should be equality because, again, I don't mind fixing a plate. I don't mind, like, folding clothes. Totally fine with doing that. But I will absolutely do it for a partner that I know will fix my plate or will do something else for me. And
Why does you have to have your exact same duties? What's the point? If you're both performing the exact same thing, what's the point?
I think that's what's lost, is that I'm not going to down you if you choose not to do it. Black women, check yourselves. Like, why? What is this thing about us that we feel like we've got to judge another woman so harshly about what they're doing?
Is it also something rooted in religion?
I would absolutely say that's a part of it because, I mean, look at our marriage vows. Look at what religion says. Like, it says that a woman is inherently below a man. It's very pervasive that we go back to that. And a lot of...
Below a man in authority. Now, I'm not even a religious person. I hate religion. But to back that up, it says it's really speaking of authority. It's not saying you're less than a person or you're just less than a man regardless and you ain't shit. You're lower on the totem pole in authority.
Christianity has been really kind of tweaked and turned and twisted to fit patriarchy.
Ladies, another insightful question. But Kiara, what did we learn?
Can anybody state what's wrong with patriarchy, which means man go to work, woman stays home? Can anybody specifically say what's wrong with that? Now, I talked to an old woman before that I worked with, and she said that women need jobs because, if they don't, man can just simply say, I'm not giving you any money this week, so you just ass out. True, but how about you just pick better guys or put yourself in relationships and marriages with people who won't use your livelihood to dangle over you.
Sum it up for us.
Stop shaming other women. If you want to cook, clean, do whatever for your man, that's totally fine. But we just want it to be an autonomous decision. Do it for yourself. The only man that's going to be kept is a man that wants to be kept. It doesn't matter what you do. There is no A, B, or C equals D. Just live in your truth and mind your business. Stop looking at what another woman does in order to decide if you're better and to validate your performance.
Exactly. Pick yourself.
Do you, boo-boo. And thank you for tuning in to another dope episode of Listen to Black Women. Catch us on MadameNoir.com, HelloBeautiful.com. And until we see you again, bye-bye.